Come check us out. Oh yeah, please do.
Sausage.
Did you say sausage?
Sausage.
Oh, okay.
Sausage maker.
Okay.
Family, yeah.
I was confused. I thought it was a code for something. I was like,
No,
what is sausage
no,
mean?
no.
My man makes sausage.
Yeah.
Make a stand in our nation's inner cities. Okay. Conservatives join us help. Okay. So tell me a little bit about what's happening with this right here. There's a lot going on here. What?
You gotta let the man pee, though. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Well,
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
okay,
I'll catch you on the outside. I'm gonna check
I'll
out
be right
this. I'm gonna
out.
talk to you in a second.
Okay.
Maybe we'll
Let's step over here so we're
say,
not.
like, get on the grassy area.
Yeah, I don't want to put people, the porta potty on blast. But I thought she was rapping. She said "diggy diggy y'all," but she was speaking Russian, I think. It's the 45 steak frank. It's huge. Y-U-G-E. This is what my guy gave me. He said sausage. I was like, I don't know what to do with that right now, my friend. I really don't. It's a 45 steak frank.
At a restaurant or a...
And of course, 45, you guys know, is symbolic of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, what the 45? Anybody? What is the 45 symbolic of? Anybody? The 45?
How many presidents?
There you go.
I thought you were talking about a restaurant.
No, the 45th president.
Oh, I
45th president, yeah. How do you feel now? Yeah.
Oh.
Put her on blast. But he ships nationwide. So if you're looking for some, thegoodfrank.com, you guys check him out. So he says, as conservatives, we were tired of being sold government dependency as a solution to our problems. We wanted more from life, but we didn't know how to go about getting it. Despite the conservative talking points, I'm reading your card right now,
Okay.
of self-reliance. Actually, why don't you walk us through it? So
Okay.
tell me a little about you.
Okay, about me, my name is Tyrone Jackson. I'm a father, husband, have 4 homeschooled kids. Obviously, chocolate wonder. I'm African American, and a sausage maker. And
I can tell you right now, you're the first person self-proclaimed African American sausage maker that I've ever met.
Hey, there's not many sausage makers left in America, and there's certainly not many black ones.
Is there an art to that?
It is.
I mean,
It is.
obviously there is. Everyone would do it.
It's kind of weird. Like in America, just the artisan is a lost art. People don't really make anything.
Touche.
And so, like, we're kind of unique in a company in that we own our own beef, our own pork.
So you own your own cows and pigs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've partnered with an Amish family to raise it all natural,
Get outta
chemical
here.
free. Yeah.
Are they out in Pennsylvania?
No, we're actually from Ohio.
Okay.
And so they're up in Fredericktown. And
Awesome.
We're in Columbus. Yeah.
Awesome. That's real
And so
cool.
we also make soy-free vegan products too.
Get out of
And
here.
So Franks for everyone. Good Franks for everyone.
And I told you it's thegoodfrank.com is where you guys can.
Goodfrank.com. Yep.
Thegoodfrank.com. So tell me a little bit now. We're talking. It looks like I was reading the back here, and you were talking about. It starts off as conservatives. We were tired of being sold government dependency as a solution to our problems.
Okay.
Tell me about that.
All right, so that's all we know mostly. Everybody, like from I'd say 50 on out, if you have a problem, everybody turns to the government for a solution. We have almost completely forgot how to be self-reliant. As I said before, very few people make their own food. It hasn't been that way.
Sure.
But the truth is, we've become dependent on grocery stores and the global supply chain.
Right.
We haven't taken our own family's responsibility. Like many of us did you go to a public school?
I did.
I did too. Our kids don't. And we refuse we refuse to send our kids to a public institution. It's not the state's responsibility to raise our children. And so the thing is, what does that mean if you don't take your kids to public school? It means you have to learn how to teach.
Sure.
It means that you have to learn how to make money in order to spend time with your kids.
You know what's wild is that you say that because that's what's happening now, and a lot of people are having to figure it out with the COVID.
And
kids are coming home to go to school.
But even look at that. How pathetic we've become as a people. Like that, you have to have the government force you to shut down in order for you to prioritize your family.
That's a tough one. What about for people that just don't have the means to provide that?
Do I look rich?
You seem wealthy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And wealth is a product of the mind. However, I was born not even a single parent home. My mom was rarely anywhere around. My grandparents raised me. My wife and I, up until the last year, we've never made more than $30,000 a year.
Do you think your childhood is how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 39.
39. You can cheat down. It's fine. I cheat up. I'm 73.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm 39.
Okay. Well, being black in America, as your childhood, statistically, do you feel like that's a fair representation of what other black Americans had to deal with in our demographic? Our age group. I've
so-
been growing up in a household that went like the likes of what you did.
So, like, if you're talking about, there's really no good statistic about black people in general. Like, especially if you're in an urban inner city, like 75% single parent homes, poverty that comes with that, illiteracy, low income, broken homes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But aside from drug use, prison, I experienced that. And I had to overcome it. My first job when I started this company, I washed dishes at a hospital. And so I said that I was going to build this company, and nobody believed me. All the black people around me tell me, you're not going to do shit. And so I had to turn my back on them. Then my wife's family, they were like, why don't you get a job? So I had to turn my back on my whole culture to pursue what I knew inside was true. And this is true of anyone, black, white. If you're going to grow or become anything, you have to go inside and you have to believe in that vision of yourself. And this is where we are as a country. This country is going through the entrepreneurial process. We're realizing that our dependence upon the political teat does not work. We're going to have to start to build for ourselves. So we need to go within and reimagine ourselves as free people. Reimagine ourselves as people that can actually carry our Constitution and pass it on to our children. And then once we make that imagining or that image in ourselves, we have to begin to act in accordance with it.
I love that quote, let your imagination be your guide, not your memory.
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, the thing is, only do what it is that you have done and be who you were if it works for you.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is we have been sliding into socialism for the past 20 years.
Right.
It has not worked.
Hey, you're one of us.
No, keep going. Sorry.
No, you're okay. No, and so the thing is, even with Trump supporters, even with conservatives, right now I think it needs to be open season on rhinos too. But that's something else.
On what now?
Rhinos on
On
the
rhinos?
GOP. The GOP,
Okay.
the GOP has failed. The GOP has failed America as much as the Democrats have.
Okay.
And this whole political class idea or top-down government is something we need to fight against. The government is supposed to be by consent of the governed. We're the ones that are supposed to be here representing us. These people I don't live in a place like this.
Right.
How do you come to DC and you don't even have public accommodations and this is supposed to be our city? It's like we're not even welcome here. How do you come here as a Trump supporter? I had a friend that came here during the last MAGA rally. Her name is Bevelyn Beatty. She was stabbed 3 times in the back.
I was here. I was here when that happened.
And the thing is, how are DC police, God bless them, how are they being given orders not to protect people? And so the thing is, the fact that we accept this is more of a condemnation on us than them.
What do you think? What are the steps that need to be taken to make that change?
Okay, so first of all, before you do anything in a capitalistic society, you have to have, 1, the will. And then 2, you have to have the ability financially to carry it out. For example, I say I homeschool my kids, but if I couldn't afford to pay my rent and put food on the table, while doing that, I just couldn't do it. You see?
Yeah.
So we need to, first of all, learn about what makes this country great, which is free market capitalism. The idea that you, no matter where you are in this country, can get up, take $100 and go down to the Secretary of State's office and found a company, start a corporation, and start doing business is a gift that is taken far too lightly in this country. Once that ability is available for everyone, you need to learn how to make a profit. So that means turn off the TV and start studying the people who have made profits. Live your life in a profitable way. I think these are my family right here. Yeah, my little
Okay.
ones.
Hey, what's up, fam? How you doing?
Hey, people
Hey.
in the comments are saying you need to run for office.
Oh, I get that a lot. They don't want me to run for office because I come here and burn this place down, kick everybody out.
Figuratively
Start
speaking.
over again.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even start over. I'd leave the American people without leadership and help them to swim. That's the American people have gotten to be so lazy. And so
People aren't trying to
dependent.
swim anymore. They're just treading water, trying not to drown.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. They're drowning, floating to the bottom, waiting for a fishing hook or a boat.
Someone to snatch. them
But
from
you
that
asked me,
boat.
what steps do we take?
Yeah.
The first thing we need to do is we need to be honest with ourselves. The GOP, and one of the big issues I have with conservatives is we preach all these ideas about self-reliance, entrepreneurship, but we don't apply them. And we certainly don't share them with the people who could benefit the most. I grew up in the inner city. No Republican ever came to my area.
Right.
Nobody ever came and showed me that I could start a business, that
Right.
I can actually make money. So when you get to this card, when you look on the back, the whole idea, because I kind of categorize conservatives in 2 groups. You have the compassionate conservatives like the Bushes that go out and spend like Democrats, and they really don't want, they want to have their own political elite. And then you have the confrontational conservatives that are doing good work, like Candace Owens and Brandon Straka, that are out there fighting the left and beating them ideologically at every. But you don't have either one of these groups actually creating economic opportunity for people. None of these groups of people are actually applying the American premise. What business do you own? Can you even like the commentator, Rush Limbaugh, Dan Bongino, they're sitting here selling other people's shit. What have you actually done besides create an opinion and some smooth sounding words? You can't even provide for yourself without going and getting a job. Why should I listen to you?
Right.
I have my own opinion. I can see and I can analyze. But the difference between me and you is I can feed myself. If you didn't have sponsors, what could you actually do for yourself? Because that's what America needs right now. We don't need to be the mass marketing apparatus for these multinational companies, or for 23andMe, or for all these other, affiliates for PepsiCo and all these other. We need to start creating. Look, when I started our business, what caused me to stop? I started a hot dog cart in Nashville. What caused me to shut down and start over and make my own stuff? I found out that 70% of the beef in America had ammonium hydroxide in it. These companies that we're relying on for our food are poisoning us. You think there's a deep state in politics? I found the deep state in food.
Dang.
In the medical community. They are killing us. And what people don't realize is we are completely dependent upon a global supply chain. We're talking about fighting the deep state in politics. We can't even keep our food stock. All they have to do is cut off the spigot like they did in March. So the difference is, once you're honest with yourself about what you're actually doing in your life, like, for example, many people, conservatives, they're sending their kids to public school. Again, how can you talk about self-reliance when you're relying on the government to educate your kids?
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I don't mean to be like nitpicky, but
No.
But you got to think there's a Department of Education that is sucking tax dollars like a Hoover vacuum just because you will not take responsibility for your own kids. They're taxing people in almost every state, in almost every county, just because you will not manage or take responsibility for your own kids. We need to really start to look at our own lives. Forget Trump, forget the political office, forget that circus. We need to start taking inventory of our own house.
Well, let me ask you, what would have happened in in your upbringing? Like you said, you grew up in...
I would have known is that I was poor and that I had to rely on myself, which I did find out earlier. And that is the greatest lesson I've ever learned. The problem is many poor people don't know they're poor. Many ignorant people don't know they're ignorant. When you can't buy lunch, you know you're poor and you know that something has to change within you.
Right.
Until you have that moment, that awakening moment, you can't begin the process of change.
Right.
And this is really conservatism when it hits the road. And a lot of people, nobody wants people to suffer, but people don't realize suffering is usually the biggest catalyst to change.
Yeah.
You can't stop people from suffering.
Right. You don't want to put suffrage on someone else to force them to change.
And sure as hell, you don't want people to pay for your suffering.
No. Man.
So the thing is, I think, again, everybody run for office. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I can't do for you what you can only do for yourself. And this is the truth that Americans
You could inspire.
need to hear.
I think that's what we need. We need people to inspire and motivate.
Buy sausage.
Buy sausage. Yeah, buy. Again, you can go to thegoodfrank.com.
Yeah, buy sausage. And the thing is, we need more sausage makers. We need more bread makers. We need more parents. We need more Christians that actually believe and trust God to care for them. I mean, if you're a Christian and you don't trust God to be able to provide or make a way for you to be able to raise your kids, there's a problem. I would divorce your God. Straight up.
Right.
If God can't help you, why would you tithe? Why do you commit time to him? I mean, we need to start holding everybody accountable.
Right.
But that starts with us, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's just my only conservative view. And I'm still working on perfecting it. But God knows, like, I'm not going to...
Stumbling towards perfection, my friend.
Man,
right?
walking.
I find myself, I stumble a lot more than I walk. But I'm figuring it out, right? We're getting there, taking steps.
And I mean, that's where we have to encourage each other. Because I'll tell you this. You'll see on my website, start understanding the power we have. When they shut down the economy and told all the businesses to stop because of this COVID thing, I was looking around and I said, I'm never going to allow this to happen. I'm not going to allow the government to dictate what regulation. I studied for 3 months, ran past lawyers, and found out I developed what's called a private membership association. I took all of my beef, all of my pork outside of the public sector and brought it into a membership association that's completely independent of every federal regulatory agency and is completely legal. Took it out of the public into the private sector. I just, in my own small way, shrunk the government because now I don't have inspectors coming out trying to do this or that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we have these powers. The Constitution has already given us these powers, but we fail because we don't exercise them. We haven't taken the time to study them.
Yeah.
But sometimes a pandemic is the perfect opportunity to suffer and start looking for a solution.
Those people out there.
I don't know.
I'll give you another one just in case.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Throw that
Man,
in there.
You guys, again, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep
Absolutely.
speaking up. Because it's not those that argue and make the good case, it's those that act.
Oh, okay, good deal.
Oh, Marcella!
They're gone. They left you. They're out. They are
They
out.
probably would. Well, I'll find them.
Yeah. All right, man.
So, but anyway, man, you guys take it easy. And
Thank you
you guys
so
be
much.
safe out here, too.
Oh, we will. Yeah, you too. You too.
Yeah.
Maintain.
Well,
Have a good one, my
likewise,
friend.
man,
All right.
likewise.
And I'll check you out.
I'll look you up, too.
Please do. Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right. We got
And they
to.
straight up took
They
you.
just, yeah, they're gone.
They're like, peace. You
They said, here's your bag. We're out.
They never leave me.
They left you in good hands, though.
didn't say that with a lot of confidence. There's
Yeah.
a question mark at the end of that statement.
I'm a little confused.
Marcellus!